The first thing we should say actually about smart module is that it's a real trend. It's not a fad. So if you see some studies from whoever in the field, they can really see that smart module is the most important trend in solar. And in Upsolar, we've been innovative, we have been pioneers, and we really believe that's indeed the direction to go into solar. So smart module, whether we talk about DC optimizer or microinverters, basically what does it bring? It brings the same benefits to a solar array. In a traditional array, you have the performance of a string, which is driven by the weakest module, whether it's covered by soiling, clouds, or everything. But with a smart module array, basically the performance of an array is driven by the strongest module in the field. So every module will perform at its maximum possibility all the time. So the first thing that should come in mind in smart module is additional energy harvest. But there is much more benefits to those. So this one is the first thing, and even in a perfect array, because most of people will say, I have a perfect array, there is no shade, there is no obstacle, no obstruction, I don't need a smart module. This is not true. You have a lot of various sources of mismatch, either bring by the cloud, by the temperature, also brought by the uneven degradation of the module. So all the smart module will bring improvement to that. And in a perfect, unshaded, so-called ideal array, a smart module will bring you 4 to 5% highest energy yield in the first year. So that's really the first thing. Other benefits will be you can increase the nameplate of a system, especially for when you are constrained in space. With a smart module, you can allow intra-row shading, you can minimize the design rules with obstacle, because the smart module will mitigate for the shade and will still help you to put more out of the same space. So you can increase your nameplate by minimizing the cost. Smart module came also with some feature where you can have, I'm talking about DC optimizer here, depending on the approach, whether it's marker or fixed strings voltage, you can have longer string. So we say longer string, say less home run, mid run, less combiner box, then labor costs associated. So you can also decrease your electrical balance or system cost. Another thing you need to consider is the module level monitoring. So you can know at every time, all the time, how your array is performing at module level. So you have much more granularity than with an inverter, who will just look at the string, and you can directly pinpoint what's going on. And depending on the signal you're receiving, you can say it's a shattered glass, it's a bypass diode, it's a burn diode, and instead of sending a technician on the site, you can send a module guy, replace it. So it will also help to improve your O&M cost, your system uptime. So overall, you have a lot of cost up front with the reduction of electrical balance of system, the reduction of the cost for the commissioning. So this is cost up front, and then down the road, additional energy harvest, monitoring, system uptime, and on top of that, the cherry on the cake, you have the safety, which is mandatory in the US next year by the code, whether it's a DC disconnect or arc fault detection. So all this is really the trend to go in PV, we believe. We bring all these kind of benefits, and we really believe it will help to expand PV system, because let's face it, not all the roofs are without obstacle, not all the houses have roof south facing and everything, so the smart module can really help to bring solar to a much wider scope in a difficult area, shaded area. So it's really an advocate of bringing solar and expanding solar to a more larger scope.
As you know, of course, at the moment, it's let's say quite a big advantage for a company like Upsolar to be able to have some flexible manufacturing platforms in order, let's say, to take off the duties and to bring to our customers, let's say, a free duty, high quality solar panel. Of course, as any private company, we would have expected some other decisions, and we hope that Europe and China could overpass this to make, let's say, the PV as a whole industry a more sustainable market. But we believe that we have the capacity, due to our business model, to adapt ourselves quickly and maybe faster than some of our competitors, and to find some, let's say, as I told you, some, let's say, solutions to deliver still our high quality solar panels, but without any dumping and tax issues for the customers. We also have, thanks to our networks in the last 5 years, a lot of customers all around the world that can also bring us some hints about which are the good partners and factories to work with, and how we can, let's say, on a long-term basis, find new pathway of developments, and how we can, let's say, come into the market with long-term solutions, sustainable solutions, without impacting the quality, which is strict for us and, let's say, the basic core business of our activity. Basically, this anti-dumping policy has been something that we try to anticipate as much as possible in order to be able to deliver, to still follow the trend and answer to the demand, but anticipate and be able to deliver solar panels, even if we have to change a little bit the supply chain model. So today we anticipated it, and we have some other factories, other partners we work with. So we are still able, let's say, to follow the shipment we have in the budget and to deliver panels to our customers without, let's say, cutting the trend and making some, let's say, supply chain problems and issues like this. Our team has been, let's say, working intensively on how to find new partners, and not only to avoid the anti-dumping policy, but how we try to think, let's say, globally and say how we can adapt for each market, especially, as you said, in France, with the extra feed-in tariff we can get. And yes, we are able to deliver made in Europe panels in order for our customers, it was the same, to give them the best feed-in tariff possible.